Hey, book lovers, welcome back to Shelf Addiction, the podcast where we dive deep into the pages of thriller and fantasy reads. I'm your host, Tamara, and today we are cracking open our April buddy read. Interesting thriller that we may have an unpopular opinion about. But first, heads up, if you crave the full visual experience and want to ditch the ads, head on over to Patreon. You'll unlock ad-free video episodes, exclusive after shows, and tons of bonus content. If you prefer audio only, Spreaker listeners, you too have access. After shows and exclusive are now available right there in audio only. If you want more bookish banter, you should join us over on the Book Clubs app. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening. Speaking of community, I am thrilled to welcome back my thriller and mystery co-host, Classy, from the Bookish Virtual Assistant. Welcome back, Classy.
Hey, Tamara, how are you?
Doing okay.
I'm like, happy spring. We're trying to get there.
Michigan doesn't know it's spring.
I know. I heard about y'all weather. We don't either, but
it's winter again, right?
Oh.
Okay, are you ready to talk about today's book?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, so you guys, you can find the links for both Classy and I for all of our socials in the show notes. So clickety-click around, follow us, do all the things. We appreciate you for doing that. We don't have shelf updates today, so we're just going to jump right into the discussion. Today, we are discussing the book, The God of the Woods, written by Liz Moore. The audiobook is narrated by Saskia Marleveld, published on July 2nd, 2024 by Riverhead Books and Penguin Audio. The paperback is 490 pages, and the unabridged audio is 14 hours and 35 minutes. Classy, would you kindly share the synopsis?
Ooh, yes. Early morning, August 1975, a camp counselor discovers an empty bunk. Its occupant, Barbara Van Leer, has gone missing. Barbara isn't just any 13-year-old. She's the daughter of the family that owns the summer camp and employs most of the region's residents. And this isn't the first time a Van Leer child has disappeared. Barbara's older brother similarly vanished 14 years ago, never to be found. As a panic search begins, a thrilling drama unfolds, chasing down the layered secrets of the Van Leer family and the blue-collar community working in its shadows. Moore's multi-threaded story invites readers into a rich and gripping dynasty of secrets and second chances. It is Moore's most ambitious and wide-reaching novel yet.
Okay, that's a nice way to put it. Ambitious and wide-reaching. Okay. It's reaching for something. So, high level. When you finished the book, what did you think?
I felt like, the premise of having two children from the same family going missing within a 15-year time period, it was quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of drew me in at first.
Okay.
And then, with each chapter, it kept, unveiling things about the Van Leer family, that blue-collar community and all their secrets. And it just became too much for me. It was long and drawn out. Fun fact, there were 40 named characters in this book.
Oh, 40?
Not all of them had, great character development, but there were 40 named characters. And I think I remember saying that to you, there's too many people in here, because when you start naming characters like that, as a reader and in this book, I'm just like, so who's important? And I'm like, I got to remember this one and that one. And then you come back and they would mention Carl somebody. And I'm like, so who's Carl?
Yeah.
Which one is Carl? So I started tuning out after a while, after she started dropping all these names. Cause I'm like, at one point, is she naming every child from the summer camp? But it was also a good story about, I felt like here we are again with another story like we just read last month. Here's another story that delves into the consequences of lies and what happens when you don't take action with these lies that you tell.
Yeah. It's domino effect.
So these, I was like, at the end, I was like, we just did a story like this.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it was a sad story too at some point because this here you have this family with all this money and um, children who were not loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so high level, I thought, okay, my first inclination is to say I thought it would be better. Even though I thought that, I was okay with the ending because I like a realistic ending and it wasn't happily ever after,
Mhm.
which fit the tone of the book because this is really almost like a literary mystery, almost.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's definitely not a thriller in the traditional sense or not even a traditional mystery. There was a lot of family dynamics going on. And with the history of it, like, we get to span decades and we learn about the mom in this book and how she grew up and how she was basically married off to an adult. So it's a
Mhm,
lot going on, a lot to like kind of mull over and think like, well, are these people victims of their circumstance? Like the women here, the women?
mhm. Yeah,
um, is this Barbara trying to escape a horrible repeat of her mother? I mean, she was about to get with this guy that's, very
right,
wealthy
in
and
the
very
same
shitty.
family.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
don't know.
forgot about
So
that, yeah.
yeah, overall it was fine enough. Yeah, let's move on. I don't have anything else nice to say.
No, but you're right, this definitely wasn't your traditional thriller mystery.
Yeah.
It did have a lot of family drama, some historical, pieces. Liz does write in a literary, she does have that literary pen to her writing style. I
Mhm.
totally agree with that, and I do like the fact that you brought in, the family drama because this could be definitely um, a subgenre, that
Mhm.
family drama part. So, but yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't horrible, but I did begin to tune out after a while,
Mhm.
which I felt like I was at the 93% mark,
Okay.
and I'm just like, but something is still missing. You got, come on, wrap this up.
Mhm.
Because Barbara still hasn't been found, or there wasn't a conclusion. Um, and granted, it was done within that, I'll say 5 to 7% mark, but I'm just like, you guys, you you drug me out this whole damn time.
Yeah.
And here we are. So,
So it seemed like Barbara's disappearance took second seat to Bear's mystery being solved. It
mm,
flipped a little bit. So it seemed
yeah.
like, oh no, Barbara's gone to the mom and everything that happened with Bear. Yeah, what's up?
No, you're right. I was
Oh.
just like, when you said that, it just a light clicked in my head
Ah.
because when you said how Barbara's story took second place,
Mhm.
it kind of ties into Barbara was a replacement
She
child.
was. Remember her father said, "We only need one.
Hmm.
And he's a boy, so we're good to go. No
We're
more."
good. Yep, we got our heir.
Yep.
And when Bear died or disappeared, he wanted to replace, and
Mhm.
she was a replacement child. And then this story, Liz basically kind of did the same thing,
Mhm.
replaced Barbara's story with Bear's disappearance.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was like the biggest chunk of it. Even through, like you said, you were about 93%, and we still didn't know what the hell happened to Barbara at that point.
No,
It
we
was
found
still,
out that right. We found
yeah,
out what happened to Bear
yeah, and all the
and why.
details from 2,
Hmm.
3 points of view felt like. We had to see it from the dad, TJ's dad. We had to see, from her. We had to, like, talk. I mean, we talked
Yeah.
all around what happened that night.
Yeah, I mean,
Um
we even found it from the so-called serial killer who escaped.
Yeah.
we even heard it from his POV. We
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Heard from everybody's POV about Bear, who had gone missing, 13, 14 years prior.
Which that was strange. May I just say that little insertion of
Yes,
that guy, like,
it really
trying to,
was.
like, do some kind of psycho it felt like it came
Some,
out of a
Silence of the
movie. Yeah.
Lambs. Yeah, some
Yes.
Silence of the yeah.
Yeah, and, like,
Mhm.
what's his infatuation with this, investigator? Where is this coming from? He's asking her questions like, "Are you a virgin?" and stuff. I'm like, "What is happening? What does this"
Yeah, I was like, "Hello, Clarice."
Right.
But I
Yeah.
did another fun fact that I found out.
Mhm.
This story was inspired, by Liz, during her time in the Adirondacks.
Okay.
Um, and they said it's also a bit of historical fiction because there was a serial killer in the Adirondacks in the 1970s,
Mm,
Robert Giro. His story was the inspiration for the secondary character Jacob Sluter, who they thought possibly had killed Bear. But in this story, Jacob happened to witness someone burying Bear in the woods.
okay.
So, yeah, but yeah, so that's
Interesting.
why he came that's how he became a secondary character, but it was really weird.
Hmm. Well, I guess it was kind of okay because, the kids were telling stories about the guy and it kind of
Mm,
tied into the campy thing, but it just did turn strange when that
yeah.
happened. Like, why? I don't know.
Well, I felt like she was trying to do what, and I'm just going to go back to our previous book because it's so still pretty fresh in my mind. That sleight of hand that John Mars did and
Mhm.
how well he did it, and I felt like she was trying to do that with this story, where she was trying to throw us off with the possible um, the possible suspects.
Mhm.
Was it John Paul? Was it Louisa? Was it TJ? Was it Grandpa? All these things. And I think, she's not good with that. She was
Okay.
good with character development. I mean, we did learn a lot about the characters, which
Mhm.
is probably why it took 500 pages or almost 500. Um,
Yeah.
but that sleight of hand, she really didn't I never really felt like I knew exactly who the killer was, but I also felt like at some point I was like, it's got to be one of them. You got 50, 11.
So,
There's 50 characters. It's got to
it's
be
one of them.
somebody. Yeah, at one point I was like, I'll figure it out at the end. I didn't even care to like, how sometimes we'd be like, oh, I knew.
Yeah. But
This time I was just like, whatever.
how they say, it's 2020 after the fact, like hindsight is 2020. Because
Hmm.
now I think about how much of Alice's story and history we got. Obviously, it's her fault.
Hmm.
Obviously,
Yeah,
because
she was unreliable.
why do we need to know so much about her? Was the author trying to make us feel bad for her? So when we found out what she did, we wouldn't be like,
Right.
bitch.
Yes.
So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it was like she was right there in front of us the whole time. And between her constantly popping pills
Pills. Mhm.
that made her unreliable, she couldn't remember shit. She was seeing stuff. She was hearing her son. Like, okay, clearly she being chased by a
Right.
ghost that she don't
Yeah.
remember.
Right. Yeah. Right. And okay, so she did do well with that sleight of hand where she made it seem like this mother is just a grieving mother who is deeply depressed. I'll give her that now
But
that you say that. But
we all should have known she was the one that had a hand in her
yeah.
son's death because your daughter is missing and all you can think about is your son
Son.
still. Can you
Mhm.
focus on what's happening right now?
Yeah. Well, they immediately kind of put her away when the daughter went missing.
Yeah. They said, "Take these
Yeah,
pills
I
and
think
go to
they put her
bed."
back to Albany, right? Her nice little place in Albany
Yeah.
where she heard Bear's voice
Yeah,
better.
they sent her to what? A little hospital of some type. I guess in
Mhm.
those days you can be like, "Hey, my wife is acting a little off. She needs some time away please admit
Mhm.
her. And they do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. The women treat, and that was another theme in this book is, the treatment of women in the 70s. How
50s,
they
60s,
were.
and 70s.
Yeah. But, this book was right. Cause it started in the 60s. Well, Bear went missing in the 60s. Barbara in the 70s. So yeah, you're right, the 60s and the 70s and how they, were really treated less than. But now that we want to talk about these women, let me talk about that dirty ass sister, Delphine. I wouldn't have stood in that door.
I know.
I'd have been all over her ass.
But you know what? They said what it was. Alice was scared of what being
Oh,
divorced would look like. What kind of money?
I
Who's going to
forgot.
take care of me?
Yeah, I forgot. I
I mean,
forgot.
hell, we
Yeah,
have
that is
separate rooms
important.
already. Can I deal with this?
Right. I've been dealing with this all this time.
Mm-hmm.
But just that moment, just to see them, you laying up with her. You've never laid up with me. Her
So,
hair, her hair is fanned out. Now she painted a beautiful picture. I will give Liz that. She painted a beautiful picture.
mhm. Well,
But
her sister says it's not exactly what it looks like either. So if we think about it, so I just checked the dates. When we learned about Alice meeting him, it was in the 50s and she was in freaking high school. Do you remember?
oh yeah, she was like 17. She was going to prom, right?
Yeah, it was like her reveal or some bullshit. I can't remember
Right, because they
exactly.
had money. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, Alice's family, I think, had more money than the Van Leers.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think the sister, she said back then they were sleeping together off and on. And the sister was also kind of married off to someone she didn't think she would actually want to be with. And they ended up being
It
friends or something. They
right,
had,
they grew right, it was like an open kinda
yeah.
it almost was like an open marriage, they did whatever the heck they
Yeah.
wanted.
And I
Yeah,
think I agree with you. It's very mean what she did to her own sister.
mhm.
Uh, but being knowing their history and how, like, for example, her sister would say to Alice, like, "Don't you feel like we didn't have anything to work toward, anything to do? Like, we missed out. Don't you, instead of just being a little zombie who just follows your husband's demands, so they
Mhm.
it's like you cannot make right what she did, but it doesn't surprise me at all, and the lack of response doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, it doesn't, but in that moment, I'm
Yeah.
just, like, looking at her like, "Oh, I could just snatch her up by all that hair fanned out," but sh like you said, she only knew one other
Yeah.
person who was divorced,
Mhm.
and that person basically that kinda fell off the face of the earth. The woman did, but the
He
guy
stayed around
who
with his
started
new woman.
mhm, yeah.
He keeps
So
the
she was like,
friends.
"It's no different than what I'm already living."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Which is wild. I guess that was the time. I probably would have been
yeah.
an old maid back then because I don't think I could tolerate that.
Yeah. Well, but she didn't even have the opportunity. She married him at 18. What, 9 months later, she had the baby. She was not educated. He made her feel like a piece of shit.
He treated her like a parental figure, the way he
Mhm.
talked down to her.
Yeah.
He insulted her on a regular basis. She basically started drinking because he told her, "You're boring as fuck without alcohol.
Right.
So do
Have a drink.
something about that."
Yeah. Right.
Gosh.
She was just there. She was just there to produce the air. That was it.
Yeah.
She was beautiful. She was, and according to the story, she was more beautiful than Delphine.
Yes.
So she was there to produce an heir, because even when the baby was born, Peter too was like, "Let me check him.
Yeah.
Oop, got a big head. You gonna be strong."
He's gonna be tall. He gonna, yep.
Yep.
Hmm.
We got what we wanted.
I'm sure he's
So
checked the other little head too. Just make sure he's gonna have a big
mm,
one
mm,
because family genes.
mm, yeah. Gotta make sure they're hanging right
It's
and whatever.
crazy. Like she literally was like a cow. And then when she
Yeah.
had the kid, he would not let her even take care of the child. He's got a day
No.
and night nanny, and he talked shit to her every time she tried to get up and check on her baby. Like, get out of here, go to bed. Like, what is wrong with
Yeah.
you? Like,
Yeah.
he's abusive to her, even
Yeah.
though she even said she was kind of scared of him, even though he actually hadn't done anything. So he's definitely verbally abusive
Verbally and
and
emotionally. Yeah.
emotionally abusive and probably
Yeah.
borderline physical abusive. It sounded like he came close a couple of times
Hmm.
where she
Yeah.
felt actual fear about
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. I think she right, because there were times where it implied that she made sure she was out of his way. Like,
Mhm.
like, don't upset him. Don't upset him. You don't know. But I felt like he was
Mhm.
afraid that she was going to make the baby into a wuss, or too soft. Because, the boy loved nature. He was a very mild mannered, good natured kid. He wasn't the roughhousing type of boy.
Yeah, I think it's just history. This is how I was
Yeah.
raised. This is how my
Hmm.
son will be raised.
Yeah.
Because look how great I turned out. This is what's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
Period. It's how we roll in this family.
I know. And you guys are
Like
some
some
idiots. That whole
flowers in the
community,
attic
the
type
people,
shit.
yeah, and it was like that was the thing for these people with money.
Yeah.
John Paul did the same thing. He was abusive to women.
Oh, but he crossed
All
the
these,
line.
yeah,
He beat that woman's ass. Like, and she took him back. I could not believe it.
yeah.
What was her
Well,
name? Not Tracy, but
Louise,
what Louise?
Louise,
Yes, I could not
yeah.
believe it. I said she's
But
so desperate.
again, yeah, and that's and he had promised her a life,
Marriage.
basically. Yeah, so she saw a life much better than what her mother had. Granted, you was getting that ass beat.
Is it worth it? I mean, your
Hmm.
little brother.
But she
So
was, yeah, that's what she was trying to do. I'm gonna get Jesse out of here.
it was misguided. Because
Hmm.
guess what? The little brother give two shits. He's about to smoke this weed. He's about to hang out where he want to go. He's got
I was like, they smoke weed at that young of an age?
yeah,
I guess
I
so.
guess so. He just trying to get away. He's trying to be away from
He
his
trying to,
mother.
yeah, anything to
Yeah.
escape. That's escape.
Yeah. So his mother's obviously an addict of some kind.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
he's free to do as he pleases. I mean, hell, he didn't even have food. Remember, she's like, go and
I
get food on my
know.
credit at the store. He didn't know what to get.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was sad. It was unfortunate, but that did not
Yeah,
surprise me at all. She's thinking, oh, I'm going to save us. And he's like, no,
yeah.
why don't you do something like go to school, borrow some money,
Save
save
yourself.
yourself? Basically, right?
Yeah,
Basically.
the out of the mouth of babes. Save yourself. We good over here. He was like, let mama be a mama for a change. I was
Yeah.
like, see,
Yeah.
listen to
He's
Jesse.
like, I got this under control. It's fine.
Mhm.
Leave me
Right, because
alone
he
with my
has more
weed.
years in front of him than she does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was crazy. So it was a lot of relationship drama for everybody. I mean, hell, even the detective had to deal with sexism on the job. They're calling
Mm.
her like basically patting her on the shoulder.
Honey.
You gonna be okay? Can you answer get these questions answered by yourself?
Yeah.
Do you need me to hold your
Honey,
hand? Yeah, like
you got a mouth on you, honey.
mm, all the
Yeah.
women were dealing with it in this book, left and
Yeah.
right, kept
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, because even Louise's dad, like her dad didn't even want her to move out of the house.
No.
And she was staying in a hotel because her commute was a 2-hour commute up to Schenectady. And she stayed at a hotel, and the dad came up there to pick her up.
Oh
I
yeah,
was just like,
Judy.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Whew.
when she went to the hotel, she called her house, back in the day where you got to call people's houses with landlines. And
Yes.
she told her mother, "Don't tell dad I'm in a hotel." So the mom's like, "Oh, she's at her friend's house."
Hmm.
Because I'm like, "You're full ass adult with a badge and a gun." And he's like, "What the hell is this? What world is this?" A
Yeah.
world I'm glad I was not
Not
alive
born
during.
into.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
not present at this point in time. Because if I was an
Mm-mm.
adult, I'd be TJ. I'd be off somewhere by myself, not
Living.
effing with
Yeah.
any of these people. Like, get out of here.
Yeah. And some of the other things that Liz, and now that you bring up TJ, some of the other things that Liz was trying to um, bring into play was, sexuality, with TJ, because it wasn't clear that TJ was lesbian or not, but she was definitely, ooh,
She had a tomboy vibe about her.
non-conforming. Yeah, she was non-conforming.
Yeah.
Who's to say if she liked men or women?
We don't know.
But then right, and then you had Walter, who was basically in love with his bunkmate Lowell.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so and those little implications of, and
I mean,
those are
even
things that
Luis
happen in camp.
had a crush on TJ. She's straight. She was
Hmm.
with a man, or she might have thought
Hmm.
she was straight, but when she started
Right, but
hanging
she
around,
did. She said she felt a little desire from
mm-hmm,
her because of TJ's confidence. It was something about TJ that just drew her in, and but those type of things happen in camp. Like that coming of age and discovery, and because even at one point Tracy even said, "I like Barbara."
mm-hmm.
But it
But,
wasn't in, but
mm-hmm,
it was that confidence that she had in
mm-hmm,
her. So I saw where Liz was trying to touch on those little stories. She didn't go deep. She kind of
mm-hmm,
like, whoop, it was surface level, but and she's like, let me back up out it, because this might not be my strong suit.
mm-hmm.
So
Or the
um
audience. I don't know. I don't know
yeah,
why
that too.
she didn't have to go in with so many characters. She could have just did it with one fully and honestly and did a good job with it instead of like, oh, this guy kind of likes this kid. This woman
Yeah,
may like women. I don't know. Maybe it's just TJ. This
I
may be.
know.
I mean, just go in with one. Like,
Girl, I'm not kidding. I was like writing down all the damn names because I was like, okay, Jacob, Tracy, Victor, Barbara. I was like, Denny Hayes. Somebody's got to be important because she's naming all these people. But yeah, she didn't. It could have just been
it's just a bunch of people.
key players, key
Yeah.
players. But again, it was camp. But I mean, half these people weren't all the camp people. It was all the historical family people.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but overall, like when we started with this book, the ratings are still high, like 4.15. And I had mentioned in our last book club meeting that, I had heard rave reviews. They were like, just stick it out. It's a long story, but stick it out. It's so good. And I'm like, okay, okay. And I even told you, I'm like, I'm liking it. And I did at one point. I could see this being a limited series television show. I probably would have enjoyed this better visually
Mm-hmm.
than on the page and listening.
Not only are the ratings good, it actually won the 2024 Reader's Favorite Mystery and Thriller on Goodreads. It
Really?
won the Goodreads Choice Award last year.
Mm.
So that surprises me a little bit. But I guess I kind of, leave it up to us to pick something that is a fan favorite and we not love it. That just is something that is so typical, right? Typical.
Yes, yes, yes. And we were like, okay, because we read, what was her first book? Long Bright River? Or
I don't
what
know.
was
Was
the
that
name
her
of that
book or
book?
someone else's book? I don't
No, that was
remember.
her book,
We didn't love that either.
Long Bright River. Yeah, remember they
Oh,
made a
yep.
television show out
And
of this.
that show was not that good, y'all. I
Right, and
tried.
we didn't like it either. Yeah, we didn't like it either.
Yeah, that was her book.
Mhm. And we were like, "Okay, let's try it." I gave it a 2.
I
I
gave it
can't
a do
remember what you
two
get.
as well. I just checked.
Yeah, and yeah, and it was more of a like in police procedural. I found out that she's a professor too.
Okay.
Um, she's a professor of some MFA program at, is it Temple? I think she mentions it at the end of the story. I think it is Temple University. But yeah, Long Bright. She did a little better, I think, maybe with this one than Long Bright River. Um, but The
just
popularity of this
so it's
419,000 ratings. My goodness, a lot of people have read this damn book.
I think maybe Liz Moore is just not for me. Her writing style is not for me. So not to say that it's
Exactly.
bad per se. I think it's just not my flavor.
I'm not her audience.
Yeah. And I don't, as we'll talk about more before we, when we rate it at the end, I don't hate the book, but like you, I think I liked it better than Long Bright River.
Yeah.
And so it is a step in the right direction, but not enough for me to try her for a third time.
Yes, exactly. That's how I'm feeling
Yeah.
too. I don't think I'm her audience, and I'm okay. Like she apparently loves police procedurals and detective kind of stories, and I'm okay with that. I do too. But it's just
It's
something.
her writing style. It's
Yeah,
her
and I'm
use of
okay with
characters.
literary.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
but the
So if
characters,
we want to
yeah.
compare and contrast, wait, let's take a quick break. You guys,
Okay.
check out these commercials. By listening to those, you are supporting the podcast. We appreciate you for doing that. Don't forget to pick up a copy of the book review journal available on Amazon right now. The link is in the show notes. When we come back, we'll finish this conversation. We'll rate the book. We'll talk a little bit about the audio narrator, and we'll share with you what's next. Stay with us. Welcome back, guys. So what I was trying to say, if we can compare the type of characters to Long Bright River, it's similar in that she likes to go have a lot of characters. Long Bright River had a lot of characters too. Not as many as this, but it had a lot of characters. There was a lot of history, and I don't quote me because I'm not sure, but it might have also been told in that back and forth in time, non-linear storytelling as well.
It was.
So that is also her thing. And I don't mind not non-linear storytelling, but for some reason, maybe it's the combination of the sleepy town characters paired with that. It just makes for slow reading to me.
Yeah.
So I would say this book also was not fast paced at all. I was trying to sprint to the finish line to finish this book. I listened to 75% of this book on 2x. And then I tried 2.5, but I couldn't take it. So I had to knock it back down because I was like, I need this to be done now.
Mm-hmm. And it was one narrator and all these characters, and she tried her best. She really did. But yeah, it was she does. She likes to do these little towns, small community money, because in Long Bright River, it was, she went back and forth between her sister and her sister's drug addiction, and in the present time, and and different things like that. But you're right. I'm not her audience. Her writing is not horrible. It's just I'm just not her audience. And
so I also found another correlation between the two books. And obviously, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. And if you don't want to hear about how Long Bright River ended, then skip the next 30 seconds. Skip the next minute, actually.
Put your fingers in your right.
But what's similar is that both of the women weren't dead.
Yeah.
She does not like to kill them at the end.
Kill women. She does not.
So
you are right.
I'm like,
you are right.
The ending was similar. So like the sister went off, like staying with the daddy, hiding out.
Mm-hmm.
And in this book, she like, I'm gonna skip my ass over to an island and hide out.
Mm-hmm. Until because in the story it was like, well, when she's 18, she don't have to worry about any rules. I'll just stay over here for 4 years.
Yeah, so there's definitely some lines to be drawn between the two books, and I bet you her other books are similar. They probably have a same vibe, the same things happening, and I would be shocked if the person was dead at the end. I don't know.
Drug addiction is a theme.
Yes, drug addiction is a theme.
Yeah, the sister was on drugs and was prostitution. This mom was, and a child was taken. Basically, well, the child was lost in this book, but in Long Bright River, the child was taken away,
Yeah.
or was supposed to be cared for until.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But you
So
know
yeah,
what?
she
There was
does.
prostitution in this book too. It was just that they sold their daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't like
Basically.
literal prostitution, but it was basically you
Mm-hmm.
sold your young ass daughter to this old man to marry.
Yeah. Right. He was 11 years older than her.
And you
Yeah.
know, if you're 30, 11 years isn't that bad. But if you're 18,
Teen,
that's
you
bad.
have not lived your life
No.
at
Like,
all.
think about it.
She basically came right out of high school.
Yes, she lost her virginity to him. She only been with him and the experiences weren't great.
I
Sound like
know.
she was
Poor
having
thing.
average at best. Cause you see how jealous she was to see what she thought was a romantic scene.
I know. When he did show her love,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
my heart broke.
I'm
My
like,
heart broke
oh,
for
y'all
her.
been married a decade. This the first time you had that kind of experience. That's so unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it's the same. Women being mistreated all up and down the family tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Right. Even Peter Three's mom, she was pretty silent, She kind of sat back.
oh, Peter
She
Two's
said,
mom, the grandmother that was married.
well, Peter 4 is Bear, Peter Three's mom.
Oh, I thought that was Peter too.
Remember
I
the
thought
grand
I thought that the husband was Peter too. I don't know. I guess I must have had it wrong. So the grandfather is Peter too?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
because remember when Grandpa called Bear, he said Peter 4.
Okay.
And that's when Carl was like, and he told Carl, I don't like him
Yeah.
much. So Peter 3 is
His dad.
Alice, is Barbara's dad.
Yeah.
But the mom, remember when they were interrogating Grandpa, and he was kind of saying, "Hey, honey, you're probably what, 22?" And the wife was kind of like trying to say, stop it, don't do that to her, don't talk condescending. And he basically he gave her all the information about his wife. She had no voice, basically. So yeah, it was a continuous cycle.
They
So
they teach their sons how to treat the wives and their children. So he is
mm,
continuing a cycle that has been learned.
yeah.
And I guess now because their son, the grandson is gone, that cycle ended, especially now that, Barbara was able to get away from it.
Yes, exactly.
Although I do feel bad for Barbara because I do feel like she's still really close to home. She needs to leave the state. She needs to go somewhere else so she can
Yeah.
actually have a life because she's still a child. She's like a child living on her own and being
Hmm.
checked up on. And yes, yeah, so what? TJ's going to bring you some books. Your ass is going to be uneducated when it comes down to it. Let's keep it real.
Hmm.
You're going to be uncivilized, uneducated. You need to be gone so you can live a regular life without them.
Right. Start a new life somewhere.
Not in the woods. I find like that is bad. That's awful.
She's gonna be the new Scary Mary.
Oh my God. So, that might be a good temporary situation, but the goal for them
Hmm.
should have been to get her on the other side of the country or something
Yeah.
other than that.
Yeah.
Like, you got to
Yeah.
be kidding me. So this girl is
But
destined to live in the
TJ
woods.
wasn't educated either. TJ did what she knew.
I know, but she cared about her like she was her daughter or little sister. Wouldn't you want her to have better than what you have?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, why you want her sticking around in this mug? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. They can see her at any time. Let's say one day they decide to go across the
Hmm.
lake for some stupid reason. Let's have a picnic over here. I don't know.
Right.
She's right there.
Right. Because they have money.
That
Yeah.
seems silly to me. But I guess the
Well.
dad probably could die anytime. I don't know. Well, they seem like they have good genes. They hang around for a long time.
This is how Liz ends her books.
I just think it's so unfortunate. I'm like, that ending, and I understand, wanting to have a realistic ending, but I don't know.
for a 14-year-old,
She's too
is that really
young.
realistic?
No, she gonna be
I mean, it's not happily ever after, but is it really realistic?
no. Now, if she was 18 and she graduated from high school and then she wanted to
Yeah.
do like summer camp, maybe she wanted to be a
Even 17. I
yeah,
would have taken 17.
like 14, depending on when you turn 14, you're either in the 8th grade or the ninth grade
Yeah.
at 14,
Well,
depending
the
on
the
where.
synopsis, I'm looking at the synopsis now. It's like Barbara isn't just any
Okay,
13-year-old.
so she's in the 8th grade. She probably in the 8th grade. You didn't make it to high school. That's crazy and
Mhm.
inappropriate.
Mhm. Yeah, 13 and you were having sex with
A
yeah.
20-something-year-old?
Yeah.
He's outside. He's out done with college. Remember they talked about it that time.
Mhm.
He took him 5 years or 6 years to finish college.
To finish, yep, because he wanted to travel and live the
So
yeah,
this guy is at
faster.
least 24 years old, at least. And that's
Yep.
assuming he went to college at 17
So
slash
he's
18.
see yep, so he's like 11 years older than her, like her dad was to his mom.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Mhm.
And what's messed up is because of how the family operates, as
That it
soon
was not
it,
frowned
it would
upon.
have been
Because
fine.
even Annabelle, who was younger, who was a CIT, who was having sex with him too, but they were like, "Oh, they're compatible." That's all they cared about. They didn't care about these young girls and how old or young they were. All they saw was, you know what? We're gonna money is gonna marry
Yeah.
money.
Yes, you keep it with the people, you keep it in our community so we can
Mhm.
pass this money along and the sons can take care of the business and the wives can just
Yeah,
be the
the wives. They can produce some more heirs.
you know what, this the Handmaid's Tale all over again.
The more we talk about it,
You
the
just
more we
you
talk
raising
about
the
it.
wives, right? And then you got
Mhm.
the it's crazy.
Yep,
It's crazy.
yep.
Like, I we can't even just have some murder and death. We got to have all this stuff served up with it.
Some literary family drama
That's what it
mixed in
is. I
here.
mean, it's like old money and this is how they
Mhm.
act and it's all okay in their world.
Right, and then we'll just get the workers to clean up
Yeah. We gonna force
our
them.
our they'll clean up our I won't even say mistakes, our dirty deeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like think about like how long Louise dated him. She dated
I
him a long
know.
time and
And he didn't even give
he
a
but
ring.
he knew he would never marry her. He knew
Yeah.
he wouldn't. He came
Yep.
back and that's what made me so disgusted. He came back begging and pleading to get back with her,
Yeah.
knowing at that point he should have left her be because he would never marry her.
Yeah.
Never.
No. No. I mean, even when he introduced her to the family, they were just like, "Oh,
Mhm.
we know she ain't nothing but sex. He's just having sex with her.
Look,
We know she."
when she came up to the house and she needed help, they're like, "Oh, they're about to arrest me." And that his father said,
Good luck
"Good
with that.
luck. I'm sorry.
I was
Close the
like,
door."
"Oh, poor
Like,
baby."
damn. You learned a hard lesson, didn't you?
Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm.
Oof.
Mm,
It was
mm.
yeah, very sad. So sad.
Yeah, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. So yeah, there was a lot going on. There was a lot to dissect. And I guess, there's an audience for the book, obviously. A lot of people
Mhm.
liked it.
Yeah, a lot of people read this book too.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
A lot of people
Yep.
read it and liked it. So I think okay, so if you've never read Liz Moore before, and if you like, old money themes, and along with that treatment of women, if you can tolerate it, with a small mystery, family mystery, more of a family mystery than like a, I don't know,
Like a regular yeah.
yeah, then you might give this a try.
Enjoy her. Mhm. And it's a police procedural.
Kind of, yeah. It's light though. It's a police procedural light.
Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah.
yeah. because we didn't spend enough time with the detectives. I mean, she did have some FaceTime. She had her own chapters, Judy did. But I feel like
Right.
with a traditional police procedural, we're with them all the time.
All the
And
time.
the other
Yeah.
people are kind of the minor characters because they're trying to, you know, like Will Trent, he's the
Yeah.
main person.
I get it.
So yeah, it's in there. Just like a little bit of mystery is in there, a little bit of police procedurals in there, a little bit of family dramas in there, a little bit of
Yeah.
it's a little
Yeah,
hodgepodge.
she tried to do some little genre bending in here. Oh, and it looks like it was some kind of book club book or that one little okay. I'm just looking at some other. I think she was in that whatever that book of the month thing. I think her book may have been in there too. So, okay.
Oh, so
I'm
yeah,
just looking at
she's won some awards as well for this book. I don't know if it's for
well,
this
good for
book or
her.
in general for her. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, good for you, Liz.
yeah, good for you. I mean, like I said, there is definitely an audience for this. And you know what should have gave it away? I'm about to just be so rude, but it's true. It's published
Mm.
by Riverhead Books. That was an
And you
indicator.
said that before.
Yes.
I think we said that even with the last book.
Yeah, their
So
books
look.
have a distinct feel. They do.
Mm.
It's
Are
literary.
they a literary? Okay. They're okay.
I should have saw
So
that and been like,
so
nope. I don't know what I was
pit
thinking.
look, you need to put some notes somewhere. No Riverhead books.
Yeah, because it's a
Well,
distinct
not for book
vibe.
for podcast
Yeah,
anyway. Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so shall we rate it?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll let you go first if you like. No pressure.
I it, I'll give it a 3. I was at a 2, but after we talked, I was like, it's not horrible. So I'll give it a 3.
Okay, I too gave it a 3, but I knew it was going to be a 3 before we started. I
Yeah.
knew it was better than the 2 I gave her other book. It was more interesting, but I stand by what I said. She is not an author for me, I think, in
She's
general.
getting, yeah, she's getting added to the Riley Sager list.
Yeah, which is
I'm good.
and actually I probably would not be super excited to see this narrator again either. I think she did the best she could, like you said earlier, but maybe it's the fault of the publisher because they needed another voice, at least one more,
hmm
at least.
Because yeah, there were so many like I would have enjoyed another voice for Alice.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah, there should have been at least 2 female voices in here.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because there really wasn't a need for a male voice because I don't think there weren't because I did Libro. So in Libro, it didn't tell me whose chapters. Because what was it? Was it TJ? Did TJ have a chapter? I know Barbara, Louise, Alice.
Victor has some
Who else?
chapters toward the end. He had about one,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5. Victor is TJ's father.
Okay. He had 5
Yeah,
at the end.
yeah, because on
Okay. But
Audible
I
you can
think some
see
of
it.
okay, and I think the women could have done him.
Yeah,
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, it really should have been with all those cuz cuz even cuz there was a lot of dialogue,
yeah.
you
There was a
know.
lot of dialogue. I think Alice should have had
So
her own voice, and then oh well, Carl had some chapters too earlier
oh,
on.
that's right in the beginning.
Yeah,
So maybe it could have
one
been,
man.
for one man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To sprinkle in there.
Because guess what? When you
Yeah.
have a difference of voice like that, if you're kind of fading, they'll slap you right back into place because you're like, oh, voice change. What's happening?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at certain points, her voice, I didn't even, which may have been the lulling effect because it just sounded like everybody was the same.
Yeah.
And she probably slipped out of character after a while. I mean, it
It's
was
hard to
40
tell.
damn named characters
Yeah.
with all that dialogue. I mean, Walter and Lowell had dialogue.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like that book was 100 pages too long. It
Shit,
was,
might have been more than that.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
it was 100 pages too long, at least.
I'll say,
Although Long Bright River was 482 pages too, which we also
see,
probably complained about it being too long as well. They need
yes,
to tighten up
yes.
on that editing. Tighten it up.
Well, it's River, but it's Riverhead. Maybe that literary,
They have different standard
maybe.
or different what's
That's
allowed.
I'm going to start watching more of the books that I do read and see if Riverhead um, are some of the publishers of some of those. So
Okay.
maybe
So thankfully, our next book is not published by Riverhead. It is not. It is a
no.
short and sweet one. It is 272 pages.
Yay,
A
Kristen.
quick one. We are reading Retreat by Kristen Ritter. So that's going to be, I think, a fast, poppy, lightweight kind of like the synopsis starts talking about, at the very beginning, highlighted in bold, a beautiful con artist insinuates herself into a wealthy socialite's life with deadly consequences. It sounds like it's going to be fast moving, bubblegum. I'm thinking not too heavy, I'm guessing. It
Okay.
might have the
Yeah.
vibe of that other stuff we were reading. Remember we read a couple books back to back. What was it? Who was that? We read one for the podcast, and then I think we did another for Patreon, I think. Actually, give me a second and I'll tell you. Because Liv Constantine's books. Remember we did those?
Last Mrs. Parrish?
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be in that vein if I had to guess.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because, socialite, someone's a fake con artist.
Yep. A little grifting.
Yeah. I bet it's going to be in the vein of that. But if it's super different, I would be ecstatic for that too. But I have a feeling I'm right.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah. Yay. I was excited for this one too. But you never know.
Yeah. It's hit or miss.
It's all a crapshoot.
Yeah. If you guys want to talk about this book with us, if you've read it, I believe this airs before we hold book club at the end of the month. So you should definitely join us on the book club's app so you can come and talk with fellow readers and see what everyone else has to think besides us. I'd love to hear lots of different points of view. And I mean, already people have started talking about it over on Discord. So that's interesting as well.
Yes. I was laughing when I saw that pop up.
Yeah. I was trying not to say anything like disparaging.
I know. Right.
Give them their own space to figure it out for themselves because we finished it so fast. So anyway, so that's it for today, you guys. I think we're done. What do you think, Classy?
Yes, we are done.
Okay, we are going to end things here. Thank you so much for listening to the entire episode. We appreciate you for doing that. And we'll catch you next month. And don't forget to check out the after show available right now on Patreon and Spreaker. See you guys next time. Take care of yourselves. Did you enjoy today's episode? If so, please head over to Apple Podcast or Spotify and leave a positive 5-star review. It's a simple action that makes a big difference. You can also like this episode on your favorite podcast player or share it with your fellow bookworm friends on social media. Joining the Shelf Addiction Patreon family is another way to support us. For as little as $2 a month, you can help our team create even more amazing bookish content. If Patreon isn't your thing, consider becoming a supporter on the Spreaker app for just $5 a month and gain access to exclusive audio-only content. You can find me everywhere, including Instagram, X, and TikTok under the handle Shelf Addiction. Join our book club of the same name on the book club's website and app, where we discuss all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. Thanks for tuning in.